are you set up for like the basic game, like with these right here? I think
so. Like, yeah, like as instructed. I think this is where you put these initially. The reroll tokens.
Yeah.
Planes
Okay. So you can't really do much tabletop, right? So you're going to have these. You need to kind of clip these up together because these will be where you hide your dice because you can't really talk about. There it goes this way. Yeah, can't really talk about what your rolls are. So when you roll, let's kind of go over that. Let's talk about each different portion. So obviously the end goal is to land your plane at the airport. So you want this to go all the way down. But along the way, you've got to clear these other planes that are in your direct path. So in order to do that, that's going to be this portion here. I don't know the names of anything, so sorry. But so say like if you want to go over here and put a plane or a die here, if you put a 4 here, you're going to clear 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll clear a plane off of this 4th tile, or this right here, okay? So that's what this portion will do. This right here is a reroll token, so that if you obviously clear this portion, that'll come here, and you can pop that at any time to reroll your dice.
So if the reroll token ends up here, you're able to push it to the
right. So if you clear this, then you'll like get this in your tableau here to use it later on. And when you use that, you'll double check. I believe both of you can use that reroll. I want to say.
Yeah, I saw both.
Okay, good. Right here, this is where like your plane is leaning. So, and that's going to be like the difference between the two dice. So say you put a 5 here, you don't want something that's going to be too big of a difference because that's going to cause it to lean one way or the other. And when you get too far over, you're going to crash. So, say you put a 6 here, you put a 5. Well, actually, let's do like, let's do a 3 or something just to have a little bit more. Anyway, it's going to lean in the direction that the higher die is on. So in this case, the difference is 2. It's going to go 2 to the right, or to the left, excuse me. And you don't have any different requirements there. So that's what's going to happen there. And you typically, at the very end, you do have to have your plane straight in the middle. So you do want to, I think for your very last landing, you got to be straight up. So you want to kind of plan for that with your last turn. Maybe double check me on that, but I believe that is accurate. And you always have to have die here and die here because this is like your landing and this is your engine. And I want to say, yeah, those are the mandatory ones that have to be there every time. Over here you're controlling, I don't remember the name for that. These are part of the wings.
Wheels?
This is your portion over here that you're in control of. Whatever. But basically you can put a 1 or a 2 here, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Once you do, you're just tabbing that over. And that is then moving this to this direction, I want to say. I thought it expanded. Yeah, it moves it this way. So only the blue over here will move this. So if you get this one turned on, that moves this here. Now what that does, though, is make this a little bit tighter for you because these, let's say here, if you do like this, you're going to add these 2 die up here. So that's going to be a 6. You're going to be just fine because it's in between these 2 markers here. Now, if you go and do 3, or let's say like another 4 or something, or wait, this is at 8. So oh no, because 9 is after this. So say you do a 5. That's after this marker here at 9. That's going to cause you to like go really fast. So, and you're going to accelerate a little bit faster. So that's going to cause you to bump down 2 times. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you would just go down 1. If you kind of go outside of this limit here, you're going to go down 2, which is not the end of the world. It just means that you're going to have to kind of correct yourself a little bit later with this side. And I need to double check on this. Yeah, that is not what this side does. Okay. And same thing over here. If when you place, when you're starting to fill these up, you're moving this over to the right. You don't want to do that, well...
You want to wait to the end of the game to do that?
You don't necessarily want to wait to the end of the game, but there are some conditions that you might not want to like do it too soon. But I think since you're playing the base game, you're going to be all right to just go ahead and clear that up. But same thing here, you can only do this in order. Or actually, you have to do this in order. You don't, because you don't have any arrows. So you would have to fill up a 1 or 2, and then a 2 or a 3, and then a 4 or 5, and so forth. Okay, so you can do this in order. You don't have to.
But what's the benefit of turning these on?
It's just required. By the end of the game, you have to have all of these lit up
Gotcha.
on both of these sides. Same thing with these. That's just your job. And what does this do? You might have to double check that one because I'm always for some reason I've only played the orange side.
Yeah.
So I think that just is the same similar thing where I think at the very end of the game it has to be in a certain spot.
So I read that like these can only be like 2s.
Yeah. So you probably do have to have these specific numbers there. But I'm trying to remember. I think this is just by the end of the game you have to have all these turned on. But I'm trying to remember what this red thing does. If it moves according to these here. Or if it moves according to this. So I'm going to ask him. But that's the one thing I don't quite remember because he always dealt with that.
So place a die respecting the number of constraints. The brakes must be deployed in order, starting with a 2 space.
Yeah.
Immediately advance the red brake marker 1 space. The brakes only have an impact in the game's final round.
Okay, so I think it's maybe that it just has to be all the way at the end, all the way over by the end of the game, so you can actually like stop the plane and land. Double check me on that, of course. And then the last thing here is your coffee. So if you ever want to just like spend a die, you've already filled up these. You can like put whatever, just kind of just throw a die in there, and that gives you a coffee. And you can spend that at any time, either one of you, to change your die +1 or -1. And I don't believe a 6 can turn into a 1. So in case you're wondering, or a 1 can't turn into a 6. But I think only, unlike this, I think both players can use this. I think only one player can use that.
But
like if this gets spent, like and you spend it, only you can change your die. Yeah, and not anyone else.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much the gist. Same thing over here with you, like these get these planes out of your way. So these, you just have a little bit more room for that.
So what does the radio do? Like, how do you?
You're just placing any die you want based on where the planes are at. So you would want to place like at least, because this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and this will continue to move down.
It only clears
one at a time. Yes.
But then how does it move down?
You'll move down each round. So.
Gotcha. Oh, you move it down each round.
Yes. So as long as like you've cleared all of these things, not all these lights aren't, but these are here. This is here, and you're like you're in this threshold. Like you haven't like crashed the plane, right? You're within this range here, and then I believe you just have something here for your engines. I think you're gonna be okay. Yeah, each time. Yeah, you just move it down like you met the criteria of it. Double check me on like adjusting these things because like that's like the details I'm like just let my husband do when we play. So, but yeah. Do you have any other questions besides those couple of things you were wondering about, like right here? I think that's pretty much it. But it's fairly easy once you get going. You just have to figure out a way to kind of strategize.
Yeah, like what every part does.
Yes. And communicate in a way that's,
non-verbal.
Yeah.
When do you reclaim your dice?
I'm at the end of once you like land or you get through a little level here, you're gonna recollect your dice. So once everything is out,
played.
yeah, you'll play all of your dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a like real time game.
Yeah, and it's not like timed or anything. Like you're not in a rush.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we have to play one die at a time.
Yes. So you still will take turns.
And then like wherever the altitude is, the arrow points. Who goes first?
I don't know. Probably. Sure. If you read that, let's go with it. Because I haven't paid attention to that. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate
Not
it.
the clearest teach, but hopefully it sets you on your path.
Way better than nothing.
Yeah, but
I had some guys over there earlier, like I had some friends who played the game before, like, and then they were reading the rules, and it's taking a while, but then they got mad about the friends coming in and trying to teach it. But
oh goodness.
I don't know.
Well, enjoy. It's a pretty good one, and like I would say, like you like the first go around look into the other.
Like modules.
Yes, it adds a lot more
Ice breaks and such.
interesting things, so it's a little bit more challenging. But enjoy.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. He said, "Is it for your games?" I told him, "Yes, it's the for your games." I'll still reinforce all that knowledge.
Yeah.
Ooh, what if we take the headphones off? What about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Oh, you're watching her, nice.
Yeah. I tried to find a real fast one, but couldn't find anybody like really under 17 minutes.
Each game is played over the course of 7 rounds, and each round consists of 3 phases, starting with a strategy discussion and dice roll space. At the start of each round, players may openly discuss their strategies for the round prior to rolling their dice. Players may discuss specific goals they have in mind, such as which areas to focus on, but players may never discuss the dice, including specific die values. It is up to you as the pilot or co-pilot to make these decisions for yourself during the round. Once discussions are complete, if there's a reroll token in the current altitude space, move it to the available supply area in the top left section of the control panel. Each player now rolls their dice behind their player screens, making sure the other player cannot see them.
Did you catch that?
No talking is allowed. Players must
I don't
remain
think that's. See, I don't think that's a third one. I think she said to put one here, here, and here. Oh no. I don't think she put one there. Just double check.
I'll put it on 1.5 because it's kind of loud in here.
discuss their strategies for the round prior to rolling their dice. Players may discuss specific goals they have in mind, such as which areas to focus on, but players may never discuss the dice, including specific die values. It is up to you as the pilot or co-pilot to make these decisions for yourself during the round. Once discussions are complete, if there's a reroll token in the current altitude space, move it to the available supply area in the top left section of the control panel. Each player now rolls their dice behind their player screens, making sure the other player cannot see them. And from now on, no talking is allowed. Players must remain completely silent until the end of the round unless they need to clarify or correct rules errors. Afterwards, move on to the next phase, which is dice placement. During this phase, players will be taking turns placing one die each on a free space of the control panel, starting with the player as indicated by the arrow in the current altitude screen, which in this example is the pilot. The control panel is divided into 7 different areas, and each space shows a color and or number requirement when placing dice there. Only the pilot can place dice in blue spaces and the co-pilot in orange spaces, but either player can place dice in spaces with both colors. Spaces with specific numbers require the corresponding numbered die to be placed there, and spaces with numbers separated by a slash give you the option of either value. In addition, there are 4 mandatory action spaces that are indicated by this symbol. Each round, players must assign 2 of their dice, one on the axis and the other on the engine, though they do not need to be the first dice placements. If, at the end of a round, any of these 4 spaces are empty, players lose the game immediately. Let's discuss each section of the plane, starting with the axis. The axis controls the direction your plane tilts as it flies. The first die placed here has no immediate effect. As soon as the second die is placed, turn the axis arrow towards the higher value die a number of spaces equal to the difference between the 2 dice. If both dice have the same value, the axis does not move. If the arrow ever points at or moves past the X on either side, then the plane goes into a spin and you immediately lose the game. It's important to note that the axis does not reset from round to round, and in order to win the game, the plane must be completely horizontal again by the end of the last round. The engines determine how far the plane advances along the approach track. Similar to the axis, the first die placed has no effect. As soon as the second die is placed, add up the 2 die values, which equal the plane's speed, and compare it to the aerodynamics markers on the speed gauge. If the sum is greater than the orange marker, advance the track by 2 spaces. If it's between the 2 markers, advance by 1 space, and if the sum is less than the blue marker, do not advance at all. These markers will move several times throughout the game as you'll see spaces. If it's between the contingent, lose the game. It's important to note that the axis does not reset from round to round, and in order to win the game, the plane must be completely horizontal again by the end of the last round. The engines determine how far the plane advances along the approach track. Similar to the axis, the first die placed has no effect. As soon as the second die is placed, add up the 2 die values, which equal the plane's speed, and compare it to the aerodynamics markers on the speed gauge. If the sum is greater than the orange marker, advance the track by 2 spaces. If it's between the 2 markers, advance by 1 space, and if the sum is less than the blue marker, do not advance at all. These markers will move several times throughout the game, as you'll see later, but you'll always compare the plane's speed to the position of these markers when placing the second die. There are also a number of airplane tokens on certain spaces of the approach track. If ever you have to advance when there are tokens in the current position space, you collide with another airplane and immediately lose the game. To avoid this, you can delay advancement on the approach track, but eventually you'll need to remove all of these tokens by assigning dice to the next action space called the radio. The radio allows you to communicate with the control tower by placing a die of any value in a space of your color. The co-pilot has 2 spaces available each round, while the pilot only has 1. After placing a die, starting with the current position, count a number of spaces on the approach track equal to your die value, and remove 1 airplane token there. All airplane tokens must be removed from the approach track before the end of the game in order to win. At some point during the flight, the pilot needs to start deploying the landing gear. Placing a die in any of these 3 spaces requires a specific value, but you may place these dice in any order. In a real airplane, deploying the landing gear increases drag, slowing down the aircraft. To simulate this, when placing a die, flip the switch to show the green light, and then advance the blue aerodynamics marker 1 space. This increases the value range necessary in order to progress on the approach track when activating the engines. Once a switch has been flipped, placing a die in its space will have no effect for the rest of the game. And in order to win, all 3 switches must be turned on by the end of the game. Throughout the journey, the co-pilot will also need to deploy the flaps, increasing the plane's lift and wind resistance. The 4 spaces in this section also require a specific die value, but unlike the landing gear, the flaps must be deployed in order from top to bottom. Similar to the landing gear, the flaps also slow down the aircraft due to an increase in lift. When placing a die, flip the switch to show the green light and advance the orange aerodynamics marker 1 space. All 4 switches must be turned on by the end of the game in order to win, which means the aerodynamics markers will be in this position by the end of the game, making it impossible to advance by 2 spaces in 1 round. So make sure to avoid deploying all of your flaps too early if you know you'll need to move fast. And of course, we have the brakes. It is up to the pilot to deploy the brakes by assigning a die with the indicated value and immediately advancing the red brake marker 1 space. The brakes must be deployed in order from left to right, but you are not required to deploy them all. Although, the more you deploy, the easier it'll be to land the plane in the final round, as we'll see later. Now, at certain points throughout the game, players may not have the most ideal dice values to assign during the round. Fortunately, there are a couple of ways in which you can modify them. One way is by spending coffee tokens to help you concentrate. Players start the game with no coffee tokens in their supply. So in order to gain these, either player must assign a die of any value to one of the 3 spaces in the concentration section. After placing a die, immediately place a coffee token in one of the 3 available spaces. Coffee tokens can be spent by either player to increase or decrease their die value by 1, and you can spend up to as many tokens on 1 die as you have available. Spent coffee tokens go back into a general supply, ready to be generated again. Unspent coffee tokens will remain from round to round, but it's important to note that die values can only be changed to numbers between 1 and 6, and die values do not loop, so subtracting 1 from a 1 value die does not change it into a 6, and vice versa. In addition, at any time during the round, players may spend any available reroll tokens to allow both players to reroll any number of unassigned dice behind their screen once. As soon as players have assigned all 8 dice, the round ends, and players may speak again. Unless this is the final round, move on to the end of round phase. At the end of each round, the plane descends by 1,000 feet. Advance the altitude track by 1 space, retrieve your dice, and continue on to the next round. If after advancing the altitude track, the airport symbol is in the current position screen and the airplane is in the current altitude screen, this means you've arrived at the destination airport right as your plane is about to touch down, signaling the final round of the game. Now there are a couple of special circumstances that you might find yourselves in. If the airport is ever in the current space when you have to advance the track, you've overshot your destination and immediately lose the game. If the airport image is not yet in the current position screen when the airplane is in the current altitude screen, unfortunately you've crash landed before reaching the airport and you immediately lose the game. If the airport is in the current position screen but the airplane image isn't in the current altitude screen, this means that you are above the airport but the runway isn't ready yet. You'll need to place your dice strategically in order to delay and avoid advancing further until the end of the 7th round. While you're still required to assign dice to the 4 mandatory action spaces during the final round, the pilot will now also need to apply the brakes. During the final round, when placing the 2nd die in the engine section, instead of comparing the plane's speed to the aerodynamics markers, players compare it to the brakes. Even though it is the pilot's job to set the brake limits, both players must work together to make sure the speed, which is the sum of both dice, is less than the brake value. If not, the plane was unable to stop on the runway and you immediately lose the game. In addition to applying the brakes, the final round is also the last opportunity for players to move all areas of the control panel into their victory conditions. At the end of the final round, if there are no airplane tokens on the approach track, all flaps and landing gear switches show the green light, the airplane's axis is completely horizontal with the arrow pointing at the black triangle, and the plane's speed is less than the strength of the brakes, congratulations, because you've successfully landed the plane and you win the game. At this point, you have everything you need to embark on your first flight to Montreal. As soon as you've successfully completed the basic scenario, feel free to return to this video and join me as we explore the advanced scenarios and modules that come with the game. After you've successfully landed your plane in Montreal, you may now choose from one of the 20 scenarios included in the flight log, as well as additional scenarios that can be found on Scorpion Masquer's website. Each scenario is color-coded.
All right, think we got it?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, so don't forget, engines, whatever and whatever, blue and red, they got to be in between. No, on the left side, it stops it.
Preferably.
Yeah,
Well,
left side you don't advance any, I think.
Yeah.
And then in the
on
middle.
Depending on if you want to advance.
Okay, like
You don't want to crash. You don't
Yeah.
want to like.
crash into other planes.
Yeah.
Middle, you advance 1,
To the right, you advance 2.
2. Landing gear, move the blue marker to the right. So where's the landing gear at? Oh, that one, the blue. Move it to the right. Flaps,
Landing
move
gears right here.
orange. Okay,
Landing gears
blue.
right here.
But I
And
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
represents it, yeah.
Yeah,
Move it to the
yeah,
right.
move that.
Flaps, move the orange to the right. Brakes, move the red to the right. Final turn landing at the end of the round if you win. If there are no airplanes on the approach track, all your flaps and landing gear switches show the green light. Your airplane axis is completely horizontal. Your speed is less than your brakes when you place your engine dice. that stuff, I think. And then congratulations, the passengers burst into applause. You've landed smoothly, and you've won.
Okay. So I think immediately
We moved that one, I think.
And then
You ever play Radlands?
What's that? I haven't played Radlands.
Feel like playing Radlands?
Like right now?
I mean, after we do Sky Team, perhaps. I mean,
Maybe. Just because my girlfriend has we may have to go back to the Airbnb. Maybe.
okay, gotcha. No worries, they're probably finishing up over there too. But
Okay. So I think each of us roll our die, right?
Yep.
Into our thing.
all right, so I take it. Pilot goes first.
Yeah. Yeah. I think whatever the arrow is, whatever altitude, picks who goes.
Okay,
first.
yeah, you got it. Thumbnail. Radio is to clear the landing strip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to clear the skies.
Yeah. Do you? And then yours. I wonder what your radio does.
Probably the same thing, right?
Yeah. Any number can be placed there in the radio. Okay. The pilot has only one space to place a radio dial, and the co-pilot has two. On the approach track, count the number of spaces starting with your current position. Immediately remove one airplane token from that space. If you play a die with a value of 1, remove an airplane from the current position space.
Current position space.
I think right here.
Okay, so we got to move that down. And how do you move that down again? Oh, I think you got to advance, tilt the plane.
No. I think it's no. This is the tilt.
I think if you go up, you advance, right? Or what do the engines do again?
Yeah, the engines. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just gotta make it within that range.
How you
Advance.
adjust that.
Okay.
But I go up 1 right since I placed 1.
Okay. So I got to go in between 7 and 8 to advance 1. Oh no, we got to both get in there and yeah. All right, so 7 and 8.
Well, I think to the left it doesn't move. So it depends if we want to move or not.
We do want to move so we can clear them planes, right?
Well, no, you clear the planes by playing the radio. So like if you play a 3, 1, 2, 3.
Ah,
it'll
yeah.
knock off that plane.
But you got to start from the bottom up, right? If I have a 4, I can't.
No,
It will bypass that one, or
I think you can bypass it.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go 4.
So then you knock off one of the planes.
Cool.
I'm trying to see what the brakes do.
I think we gotta initiate the brakes so we can
We at
land.
least have to play these 4 every turn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. These are mandatory.
Okay, because we gotta advance or not, and
The
then
engine. Okay, so that's for the sum. Okay, so that's me the movement. Okay. so it doesn't advance.
Yeah. That's the difference between the two, right?
Yeah, so they will do one that way. How many turns is it?
7 turns?
Is it 7?
I think so.
7 rounds. So we do gotta. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
And one of those?
Yeah, yeah, but we do gotta advance these. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so okay, I guess we don't advance that round, but so I'll get a, like, if you don't have anything else, you just throw a coffee out there, basically, right?
I think you could do this, right? If
But you
wanted.
don't want to get them open too fast, right? Because there was some reason why, like, you didn't want to do it too early, right? You kind of want to save that towards the end of the game because it messes up these ranges or something.
Really? Oh.
Because if I go 1, then that'll advance it over here. Then
Yeah,
it's hard to
you're
hit
going
certain
too
levels, I
fast.
think.
Yeah.
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 It slows it down, I think they said, because it's flaps, I think. It slows it down too much. I think I just get a coffee, I think. With that 1.
Yeah, I know why. Because you're not going to be able to. It's going to be hard to advance this track if this is too high, because our dice rolls are going to have to be higher.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we'll just get a coffee for now. And then that's placing the coffee there, then you take it off when you want to use it, or how does that work?
Yeah. Whenever
Okay.
you want to use it. It's only for yourself. Okay. So then we take back our die.
Okay.
So we didn't. So.
So I get the coffee, or how does that work? Or
So hold on. How do I can't remember how we dropped this again? The altitude. Oh. Hold on. I'm trying to remember how to drop the right side.
yeah. Does that automatically happen every round, or?
Okay, so that's the altitude.
That one might be the auto track every round.
So the engines will affect the approach track. Oh, decreasing altitude. So
Regardless of what you've done during the round,
in
the
the
plane
round.
descends. There are 7 spaces on the altitude track, and therefore 7 rounds. I think that's just auto. You move down
yeah,
1.
advance the altitude 1 space without take back your dice. If the airport image appears in the current position screen, and the airplane image appears in the current altitude screen, proceed to the end of the game section below. If it does not, restart a new round. Okay.
Yeah, that's just the time track, time marker.
Okay. All right.
All right, so we reclaim our dice,
Yeah, give me my dice.
roll them. Wow, wow, wow.
Okay.
All right, so this time I'm first. So
Oh yeah, you are first. I think.
yep, I mean, we're not supposed to be talking, but first game. But oh, like that guy. What's that guy about? Yeah.
Um,
Re-roll stuff. Re-roll. Probably everything.
you can choose.
Okay.
You can choose which die you want to reroll.
Okay.
But
Okay. Cool.
I'll say we can go with it.
Okay. All right. So. Kind of got to put a 5 there.
See, I wonder if that has to get used at the beginning of the round or at any time. At any time during the round, any player may spend a reroll token. Okay, so at any time.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay. All right. One. Nice.
Oh, yeah, we immediately do this.
1. Perfect. Go ahead and clear a 5. We don't count that, do we?
I think we do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's kind of unnecessary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do this first. This makes more sense. If we get below, if you put a 1, that'll be no advancement. Put a 2, we advance 1. You big on rolling rights? Are you big on rolling rights?
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. I haven't played too many. Rolling realms. Cartographers.
I'm gonna add one.
Okay.
Well, I think it's
It's behind the 6, so I don't think it advances us any.
well, no, it'd be 7.
5 and 6. I mean 5 and 1, 6.
Well, no, because I used the coffee.
Oh, okay. 7. Okay, cool.
So this will immediately go down.
Advance 1, cool. All right, now go ahead and spin at 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't already. I put it back. Yeah. Now you can take away up to 5 or just exactly 5.
Exactly 5.
Okay. I'll waste another on some coffee, I guess. All right. Another coffee. Okay. We already advanced on this?
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm trying to look up this right here. So like at the end, just want to make sure I get this right. So you must deploy the brakes in order, starting with 2, then 4, then finally 6. You do not have to deploy your brakes. The more you deploy, the easier landing will be. During the last round of the game, your speed must be less than the position of the red brake marker. So okay, so 3. So I guess like our speed engine-wise is 3. But I wonder 2, 3. Is this 4 or 5? Like I wonder that, and then 6. So I think our speed has to be less than our brakes at the end of the game.
Okay, speed less than brakes at the end of the game. All right, makes sense. Okay. Do you recall if homegirl said that? Do you recall if our teacher said that?
No.
I think the husband just knew that.
No, she did say that too.
Okay,
But,
okay.
And I'm just reading it right here. So I'm
Okay.
gonna use a coffee.
So the comfy, like it hit the 2 and then made it go up to 3 because you made it a 2.
Yeah, I made it a 2.
Okay.
So I just add 1. You can add or subtract 1.
Yep. Well, I mean, like the 2, like it's already a 2,
Oh.
so then once you hit the 2, then it'll go to.
Well, no. So I think it just advances 1 per click.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Some tilt.
That doesn't move. Well, you wait until it's ready.
Okay, oh, yeah.
It was a 4.
Kind of want to use the coffee. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 4. Alright.
So behind here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna use the coffee to advance it, but
I had to because if not, it would have crashed.
yep, great. That works. Cool. Oh, I still got to put this one. 3, 1, 2, 3. Advance to 3. Cool.
Oh yeah, we haven't used this yet. So it'd probably be beneficial to use it this time
Because they don't stack.
Huh?
Because they don't stack.
They don't. Well, they may stack, but we're gonna get another one in a second. So we don't have to use it. It depends.
All right.
If you think we have a bad roll.
Good. Me first. That is still there, right? That is there, right? Yeah. Alright, we're gonna have to start trying to get some advancing. So, throw this 5 here. We need to tilt the plane though. No, I think it's more important to tilt it right now. Nice. Got a 3. Cool. Nice. Ah. Nice. All right. Fifth round. 6, 7. Fifth, 6, 7. Yeah. They did stack, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't double check, but I think so.
Probably so.
All right, I go first. So we can choose
Which one's the reroll?
which one do we want to reroll.
Yeah. We got to kind of focus on advancing, I think, too.
You want to reroll or no?
Nah,
You don't wanna
I'm
reroll?
good. No, I think I'm good. Nice. Advance 2. Nice.
Just a reminder, all these have to be on. Pretty sure. Like these. They're all
Yeah.
gotta be on.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. Oh, hey, take the coffee. You don't need the coffee, do you?
Nah.
All right, turn that 1 into a 2.
And you move it to orange by 1.
Oh, yeah. Now, I hope it's not too early to be doing that, but we're kind of approaching the end of the game, so it seems fine.
How are you going to be able to... See, how does that work then? Hold on.
4, 5, and 5, 6. We just got to get a high range or whatever.
No, yeah, but I think we might have moved it up too much for you because you should only have.
It starts at 9 and then it goes to 10 and yeah.
Yeah.
Starts at 9. We bumped it once, then we bumped it twice. So
That's twice. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all kill Hitler? Playing the Hitler game over there. Yeah, roll them. Carmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, did y'all kill Hitler?
Yes, we did.
Nice. Good job.
Okay, cool. Do you want to come over here and we can get a game?
Yeah, I'm just about to finish Sky Team in about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then once you come here, we can figure out what we want to do, like what game we want to play.
Sweet.
Just have you pick one so we can figure out a game to play together.
Alrighty.
Okay, cool. We'll see you in 5 minutes.
Alright, later.
Okay, bye.
5. You know, it might be best left for later. You gotta open up those two.
No, these don't have to be open.
I mean, you gotta open up those two, right?
Oh yeah. No, just one.
One, okay. All right, so the tilt wants to go to your side, so I'll just throw a 3 right there. We got to advance though too, so to advance we're gonna need a 8 or 9 at least, an 8 at least. Yeah, to advance we need an 8 at least. All right. Should be setting up, but. Right. Oh, we don't move that until.
No, move it immediately. Oh. No, we don't.
But you got to put yours out there first, right?
Well, no, this is when we move that.
Oh, but we gotta see how much we advance, right?
Well, no, that moves. That moves. This moves after I put the second. I put mine. So like after. Oh no, sorry. Hold on. No, this no,
Yeah.
That affects that. Sorry.
The drag or whatever that is. Yeah, we've only bumped it twice. 3 times.
So is it only 9 in between?
So it starts out at the 8. 1 bump, 2 bumps, 3 bumps. Seems like we should.
No, yeah, you should already be at 11.
I mean, unless I moved it and didn't use that dice yet. It probably is at 11. We already got them open. One advance, nice. Okay. Use a coffee. Get a coffee. Don't forget we have a reroll. Red light. Six. Use the coffee. Hit that flap. Make it a 5. Two. So 2. Move to 2, right?
Yeah. No. Let's go that way.
Yeah. Damn it. Dang it.
I was gonna use the coffee.
Yeah, man. Maybe I shouldn't have used the coffee.
Well, you didn't know I was gonna use the coffee, so I think that's like the
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about the game.
the
Yeah.
fun about the game is like
Yeah.
the communication like that.
Yeah. It tilts my way. That sucks.
Yeah, because I was gonna use the coffee because then I was just gonna tilt once, because then like that could be done.
Yeah, I could have waited on this, and then, but
Yeah.
then I could have just made another coffee.
Potentially, yeah. So we'd have to make sure that was clicked next time.
But that's not too hard.
So that would progress. Then we'd have to, during the round, we'd have to make sure our speed is less than this. So we're gonna make sure our speed. So there are no airplane tokens on the track. So we'd have to all your flaps and landing gears, which will show the green light. Your airplane's axis is completely horizontal, and your speed is less than your brakes when you place your engine. And then this has to be, you have to be at the airport with your plane. So you got to make sure like all those things like come together. So horizontal, you're both here. All of this is green, and then your speed combined at the end is less. So that's why that's what's cool is this is optional, But the reason you want a high is because it's a lot easier to get less than a 6 with these two die than it is to get less than 2 with these 2 die.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you definitely want to like get this, at least a 4 for sure. So what do you think though?
Oh yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we played it, pretty. Apart from probably learning like a thing or two, I think we pretty like it felt smooth, like that we played it pretty correctly.
Oh yeah, it's a good game. I like it.
Yeah.
Got
CJ.
Marcus.
Hey, nice to meet you, man.
Man, like if you ever want to relive this on YouTube one day, I will post it before too long.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. For your games on YouTube.
Games.
Yep. Been real. Been really real.
No, that's awesome, man.